So here at pingperfect we get asked about mods all the time. So we thought we'd make a quick video about mods, why you'd use them, and some of the pitfalls that you might experience whilst using them. So first of all, what are mods? Well, mods are a wide range of things. They can be as simple as changing a cosmetic within the game, adding something new, or a total overhaul of the base game. On my screen at the moment you can see a bunch of mods for Ark Survival Evolved. There are thousands upon thousands of mods that you can install for Ark for many other games. For example, this is Project Zomboid. Many mods there as well. Why do people use mods? Well, modding has been around for decades now, and for the most part mods are created when somebody either wants something in-game to look different, a cosmetic mod, do something else, add something to the game that doesn't exist, add something new, improve something, make things easier or harder, or all of the above. Now, installing mods is done many different ways. There's the old school way of downloading the mod to your PC and uploading that mod folder to your server. The three ways that I have here are all using Steam Workshop. So we've taken the effort out of adding mods. You go into the Steam Workshop button, there's this button here, and literally just click install. It takes a little while because it has to connect to Steam, grab everything, download it all, put it in the right place, change some bits and pieces in the background, and then there you go, there's your mod installed. So for example, if we go and install this map, you see it will download it with Steam, put it in the right place, extract it all, and install it to your server. And with any game that we have a knowledge base full of how to do things. So if you're ever stuck, you can check in there and it'll tell you how to do it. As you can see, it's still going through the install process and it's just finished. So some take much longer than others. It depends on the size of the mod. Now, there are some downfalls of using mods, and I'll go through a few of them now. So when you've installed mods, they obviously change things to do with the game, whatever game that happens to be. And just because a mod that has worked previously and you've installed it again doesn't mean that it's going to carry on working. So for example, if let's say 6 months ago you had an Ark server or a Project Zomboid server or a DayZ server and you had a particular mod that you were using and you liked the mod, so you've installed it again. That mod may not have been updated since you last used it, but the game probably has been updated since you last played it. And just because it worked before doesn't mean that it's going to work with the current version of the game. So we get a lot of questions from people saying, well, I've used it before, why isn't it working with my new server? Well, lots of things change between when you last used it and now. It could be that the mod just simply hasn't been updated. It could be that there's a problem with the mod on the current version of the game, and they're waiting for an update to the game to come out. It could be many things. So there are some downsides of using mods. Another one would be that whilst that particular mod works with the game currently, you then go off and install another mod. Now those two mods, they work absolutely fine with the game separately, but when you install them both at the same time and try to run them on the server at the same time, they don't work. That's because some mods try to interact with the same thing at the same time within the game and it just doesn't like it. So again, we get lots of questions from people going, whoa, I've installed this mod and it worked fine. I've then installed this other mod on a different server and it also worked fine. I've put both of those mods onto this server and suddenly it's stopped working. What's going on? Well, again, that's probably because these two mods don't work properly together, assuming you've installed them correctly, obviously. Another issue with mods is that they do impact performance, and I'm going to show you that now. So if I use DayZ, we can go into the web console, and we can see that the average server FPS is between 18, nearly 19,000 and 19,000. So we can probably say that the average server FPS is about 19,000. Now I'm going to go and install a very popular mod called Traders Plus. Or Trader Plus, I should say. It'll take a little while because this mod is fairly large. And then afterward we will restart the server. Oh, sorry, the mod will restart the server itself anyway, and then we can have a look at the server FPS again. Now this is just one mod. DayZ is one of those games where people will install hundreds of mods, and that leads me on to another issue that people come to us with. So modding will take time, and people try to shortcut this by going, okay, here's a list of 100 mods that I want to install, I'll install all of them, and then off we go. It's not how mods work. What you need to be doing is installing mods one by one and testing to make sure that the game still works, or the server still works, I should say. We don't want to be installing 100 mods all at the same time, because then if one of them doesn't work, we have no idea which one isn't working. If you install the mods one by one, I know it's going to take longer, but then if the server stops working for any reason, you know exactly what mod it is that you've just installed that has prevented it from working. Now, whether that mod's not working because it hasn't been updated since you last used it, it doesn't like one of the other mods you have, or the authors just abandon it. It could be any of those reasons. But if you installed those mods one by one, you know exactly which mod it is that you've just installed that doesn't work, and can then obviously just remove it. Which brings me on to the next point of mods can and will cause crashes. You're adding additional content into the game and changing things. They can and will crash servers, so it's just something to keep in mind. So you see I've now installed that mod. The server has restarted itself automatically. We'll give it a moment to reboot, and then we'll go and have a look at what the server FPS is doing. The other cool thing about the Steam Workshop system that we have is you can see what's installed at just a click of a button, and if anything needs to be updated. Obviously I've just installed these mods, so nothing needs to be updated. Another slight problem with mods in games is that if the game updates and that game update breaks one of the mods, you are then stuck. You either have to wait for the mod to be updated by the author, and many authors do this on a voluntary basis. It might take them a few days to get to it. It might be a complex problem that takes them a week to sort it out. Now that either means that you've got to wait for that mod to be updated and work with the game again, or you've got to remove that mod. And if that mod is something like, for example, Structures Plus in Ark Survival Evolved, if you remove that mod, any structure that's been created with Structures Plus will either just disappear or it'll fall down. So you have to weigh the benefits of using the mod versus the downsides of using that mod if things should go wrong. Because mods may not be updated at the same time that the game is updated. A lot of them are, so a lot of the time you don't actually have to worry, but there is that thing that you just have to be aware of in the background. So if we go back to DayZ now, that looks like it's started up. So if we go and have a look at the server FPS. Okay, so we can see there that just installing that one mod, we've gone from 18, nearly 19, and some 19s to having 16, 17, 18 in there. So just having that one mod in there has decreased the average server FPS. Now, if you times that by having much larger mods in there as well, and many more mods, you can see why people start to complain about their server performance after adding mods. Because every mod that you're adding adds more stuff to the game, changes more things, has to write to the server files, has to write to the database, so on and so forth. It's not all doom and gloom, though. Yes, mods can cause issues, but so long as you're willing to work through those problems, mods can provide almost a limitless amount of replayability to your favourite games. And for the other games where the Steam Workshop isn't a thing, we have our own mod system where you can go off and install well, anything really. If it's not in there already, submit a ticket, we'll put it in there for you. So this is Minecraft, where we've got all the different versions of Minecraft, and then many different mods within those versions, mod packs as well. And then we've got 7 Days to Die, which again has many different mods for the current version. The new version of 7 Days to Die is coming out soon, so excited for that to come out. And even if the mods do cause a bit of performance problems, our machines are extremely powerful and can probably handle it anyway. So yeah, that's a little bit of an overview of mods. If you need a server for anything, come and have a chat with us. pingperfect.com.